6 out of the 9 pro-independence jailed leaders have already been transferred to Catalan prisons, but this is far from enough for the country's top authorities. Hello and welcome to Catalan News. Carme Forcadell, Dolors Bassa, Oriol Junqueras, Raül Romeva, Jordi Sànchez and Jordi Cuixart. After spending months incarcerated around 700 kilometers away from their families in the Madrid region, these politicians and activists arrived in Catalan penitentiaries today. In our show, we'll tell you about their journeys, which for some have lasted up to 3 days. In the coming minutes, we'll also go through the other main news of the day, the arrival of an NGO rescue boat at the Barcelona port with 60 refugees on board. The Catalan president and the parliament speaker showed no signs of celebration today after the arrival of most jailed leaders in the country. Both Quim Torra and Roger Torrent said the current situation is still unfair, while some opposition parties criticised the Spanish government for allowing the transferal to take place. Yet the day started much earlier.
It was around 7:45 in the morning when Catalan pro-independence leaders Carme Forcadell and Dolors Bassa left the Alcalá Meco prison in Madrid for another in northern Catalonia. More than 8 hours later, and after some 800 kilometres, they arrived at the Puig de les Basses penitentiary in Figueres, which is under the control of the Catalan administration. Dozens of people were waiting for them, chanting for the prisoners to be freed. And shortly after arriving, in the evening, they got their first visit. And an important one. The Parliament Speaker, Roger Torrent, gave them his support in the jail before taking part in a demonstration outside. Also today, 4 male prisoners, including former Vice President Oriol Junqueras, arrived at Lledoners prison in central Catalonia. Their journey, though, was considerably longer, as they left the prisons in Madrid on Monday, only reaching Catalonia after 2 overnight stopovers. They were also greeted by supporters cheering them, while in the evening they were visited by the Catalan president. Bringing them closer to their relatives was one of the claims made by the families of the leaders, but this is not enough for them, and nor is it for the leading Catalan authorities either.
I no descansarem fins que sigueu lliures i amb les vostres famílies, fins que els presos polítics i exiliats sigueu a casa. I no a prop de casa, a casa. Llibertat i justícia, no ens conformarem amb menys.
Aquests mesos d'allunyament han estat un greuge intolerable, un càstig addicional a les seves famílies i amics i un motiu de vergonya per tots els demòcrates catalans, espanyols i europeus.
Torrent and Torra's statement was made on behalf of the government, most Catalan parties, trade unions and social entities. But the transfer of politicians to Catalonia's jurisdiction has also sparked criticism. Unionists Ciutadans and the People's Party think that it was a mistake by the Spanish government.
Desde luego, las acciones del gobierno del Partido Socialista están dando impulso, aire y victorias morales a los independentistas.
Yet Madrid believes that the Catalan executive will handle the prisoners according to the law.
El govern de l'Estat ha complit amb la llei, ha complit la seva obligació. Jo estic absolutament convençuda que l'administració de la Generalitat farà el mateix.
6 out of the 9 leaders in jail are now in Catalonia awaiting trial, with the 3 remaining prisoners also expected to be transferred in the coming days.
Families of the jailed leaders had asked for a long time for them to be closer to home, but this has only happened a few days before the upcoming meeting between presidents. The Catalan and Spanish leaders, Quim Torra and Pedro Sànchez, will meet in Madrid next Monday. Torra is willing to lay an agreed independence referendum on the table, and although his Spanish counterpart intends to reject it, one of his ministers, the Catalan Meritxell Batet, said today that anything can be discussed. Also today, Spain's foreign minister commented on the latest controversies abroad in events between both administrations. Last night in Stuttgart, a Spanish consul tried to interrupt Catalonia's vice president while in a 4 Motors for Europe event. This came a week after President Torra walked out of an event in Washington because the Spanish ambassador in the US called him a liar.
¿O ustedes creen que el embajador de Estados Unidos, de Francia, de Alemania, de cualquier país democrático se hubiera quedado tranquilamente sentado en silencio escuchando que en su país hay presos políticos, no se respetan los derechos humanos y un montón de lindezas que hemos oído demasiadas veces? No, un embajador se levanta, pide la palabra y educada y cortésmente dice que aquello no es cierto.
Still talking about the echoes of the Catalonia-Spain political conflict abroad, the Scottish prosecution will ask the judge for the extradition of the Catalan former minister, Clara Ponsatí, exiled in Edinburgh. The Crown Office accuses her of treason and conspiracy to alter the constitution by criminal means, something that her defence flatly rejects. This on the day we also learn that Scotland's Prime Minister will meet Catalan President Quim Torra next Wednesday in Edinburgh. It will be the first such meeting between heads of these countries' governments in a decade. Barcelona held the biggest mass demonstration of Europe in favour of welcoming refugees in February 2017. The 160,000-strong march demanded that Spain let the city host migrants. But it hasn't been until today that the first stranded boat with refugees docked in the city. This thanks to the cooperation of local Catalan and Spanish authorities and also a Catalan NGO.
60 migrants who were stranded at sea near the Libyan coast have arrived safely in Barcelona. They were rescued by the Catalan NGO Open Arms on Saturday and reached land this morning at 10:30 a.m. local time after an arduous journey. The Red Cross greeted the ship in order to provide aid to the migrants on board. Even though these refugees were saved from likely death, for the director of Open Arms, there is much more to be done.
Vull denunciar tot el que està passant. No hem rescatat 60 persones. Hem deixat morir 340.
The Spanish government green-lighted the rescue vessel's arrival after the mayor of the Catalan capital said the city was ready to welcome the refugees. Speaking today, Ada Colau highlighted the city's willingness to help those who brave the waters of the Mediterranean in order to flee hardships in their own countries.
Des de Barcelona, que és una ciutat solidària, una ciutat de la Mediterrània, on hem viscut les mobilitzacions més grans de tota Europa a favor de l'acollida de les persones que fugen, doncs des d'aquí hem volgut col·laborar sempre amb Open Arms. No?
But the migrants' journey is not over and their future remains uncertain. The Spanish government has given them 30-day humanitarian visas, but for Colau, this is not enough.
Més enllà dels 30 dies, nosaltres el que demanem és que aquestes persones puguin tenir la seguretat de que seran tractades adequadament i que no hauran de témer per la seva situació administrativa. En general, a més, el que necessitem són permisos de treball.
One of the perils they face is falling into an administrative limbo or ending up working in the black economy due to lack of papers once their permits expire. For the time being, 50 of the refugees, all men, will be put up in the Joaquim Blume residence near Barcelona. It usually hosts sports people, but over the summer it will be a temporary home to the migrants, as well as other socially vulnerable individuals. 5 women on board will be taken care of in the city, and the Catalan Department of Childcare will look after unaccompanied underage minors.
If you own a company and are not sure whether to invest in research and development, some of the figures we learned today on the issue might help to convince you. Almost half of Catalan companies will increase their turnover thanks to having invested in innovation. That is, according to a report by Trade and Investment, an agency promoting foreign investment in Catalonia and helping local firms going international. 1 in 5 employers will hire new people this year, also thanks to innovation. And 2 in 3 companies will invest more money on research and development in 2018, the same report claims. Moving on to culture and the arts, the Circus Festival in Girona is going international. It will be held next February and will gather some 80 artists from 12 different countries. The event has just been presented and it will feature artists from as far as Russia, such as the Troupe Sherbakov and its Jiggling. The biggest circus event in Europe is one of the mottos of the festival, which will also include trapeze acts and other circus artists. An international fair with firms in the sector is also to take part. With the summer already underway, we've already told you about several Catalan traditions related to fire happening this season. Yet today we're going to show you another tradition which is to do with water. In the old days, people used to travel through rivers with boats made of wood called raies. Nowadays, some people in early July pay tribute to the old raiers, the sailors of these vessels. Take a look, thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow.